Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Darren. In today's video I got you some one-button openers for Subtlelty. Now a lot of you guys have asked me how do I play Subtlelty, how do I play Assassination, and while I do main combat, I still want to give you guys that play Subtlelty and Assassination some tips and tricks of how to play. And some of you guys are learning how to play Assassination or Subtlelty, and you're coming to my channel asking me about how do I start playing Assassination or Subtlelty, and I'm here saying, man, all I know is combat. And so I thought, you know what, I'm gonna figure a couple tricks out. So here's for you guys that play Subtlelty, that are kind of starting getting new to Rogue, and maybe even miss that nostalgic feel of back in BC or Wrath when you used to blow people up as Subtlelty, and you just want to get back to it. I got you two one-button macros. Well, both of them are for your openers. There's two different kinds, because one is all-out ham, where you spend all your points into dealing as much damage as possible within like a couple seconds of your opener. Dealing as much damage as possible within the shortest amount of time. The second one-button macro is your normal opener that utilizes ambush, rupture, your multi-strike mechanics, as well as shadow dance, establishing your position over a target. And these are very simple macros and can be utilized on anybody. These both macros are very easy to put together, and they're a lot of fun. I don't normally play Subtlelty, and when I do, I don't really know what I'm doing half the time because I mix up my abilities. These macros kind of allow all my abilities to cast in a proper sequence without me having to fumble anything. While this isn't the most optimal way to play, as you know, PvP situations do change often pretty quickly, and you gotta adjust to the playstyle, these are some of the ways you can at least start playing Assassination and Subtlelty and whatnot. And these macros are mostly for Subtlelty. Now, these talents are set up for the macro as well as for new players, so I grabbed Subterfuge, Mark for Death, Death from Above, Cheat Death, Cloak and Dagger, and Prayer in the Weak. Now, you guys that know how to play Subtlelty will say that, yeah, Cloak and Dagger isn't that great, and neither is Cheat Death, but these are the macros, the talents that I decided to grab for somebody who is new to playing Subtlelty and wants to really start pumping out some serious damage. It's supposed to have fun with it. So that's kind of what I'm trying to go with when I'm making this video, and I was, trying to come up with the macros and the easiest possible build to go for, to really create this whole one-shot macro kind of build, and just, have some fun with it. Just the simplest thing possible. While these macros are fun, if you do want to play some serious Subtlelty, you will want to actually look at the macro, break down what each ability does, what ability follows the next, and then be able to line it up without having it in a macro. You want to be able to separate those abilities apart, and then when you PvP, you want to be able to execute these abilities separately. That's how you're going to get better at PvP in World of Warcraft as Subtlelty. Because PvP situations change often and sometimes a little too quickly, you got to be able to adjust to what's going on around you. This is why you got to be able to separate these abilities apart. But this is something for you to, start playing the game and get to know some of these abilities that just blow people up, but simply by spamming one button. It's just way too much fun, and I had fun making this kind of macro, and I do hope you guys enjoy it. One thing real quick, when you do use these macros, make sure you have Pre-Med up available for all of them. Make sure you have Mark for Death up, Death from Above up, your trinkets on use, the extra rocket item that I added in there, which you can replace with a potion, but I enjoy just the more initial damage as quickly as possible. And you can actually remove that rocket item if you want to, but it kind of defeats the purpose. The whole point for it is to have the rocket item to deal as much BM damage as possible. And depending on which macro you're using, one of them utilizes Shadow Dance, the other doesn't. The normal opener rotation utilizes Shadow Dance, so you want to make sure you have Shadow Dance available. If you do not have any of the abilities available for the macro before you start, then the macro is not going to work. So make sure your whole tooltip, your skill set that's required for those macros is off cooldowns and available and ready for use if you want the macro to work properly. Otherwise, the macro is going to mess up. Also understand that these macros aren't designed to be flexible, so if PvP situations do change, you're kind of out of luck unless you know how to play a Subtlelty and you know where your all abilities are. If you are going to tunnel vision and spam the ability, the one-button macros, you're most likely going to die. So that's just something for you. I need to tell you guys before you go out and, come back and be like, man, Darren, the macro didn't work. I just getting killed by a death net because you kept gripping me as an opener or priest. And it's like, well, because these macros are not made to account for that. This is simply where you have one-on-one, you and the other person, and you just want to burst them down. As long as your abilities are available, and as long as nothing interrupts you, you should be all good. So I do hope you guys enjoyed this video, and any of you guys that enjoyed the one-button macros. I enjoyed making it. I never made a one-button macro before myself, and I honestly did enjoy making this video as well as these macros. It was a lot of fun messing around with macros as I don't have too many, but I hope you guys find some of these helpful, and if not helpful, at least fun. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. My name is Dalaran, and I'll see you guys in the next video.